Dan here. Ugh, 56 Chevy. Parts cars. Anyways, so this is what we're working on today. Now, again, this car, I know we've just been watching a few videos on it, but believe it or not, I haven't touched this thing for a month. And the first thing I'm going to do is rip it all apart. Funny how that works. So, I bought this car 2 months ago, I guess at this point. 5.3, turbo 350, tired, stock rear end, but it was, you know, licensed, all that sort of stuff, had a valid title. I tutored it real quick and immediately stopped working on it. I got a cool paint scheme I want to do for this thing. I want to leave all the scars and whatnot. I don't think I'm ever going to wash it. We'll just leave it as it is, you know, tone down some of that yeller. The last video we put this together, so this is a bone stock, like a 2003-ish 6-liter Gen 3 LS, zero done anything to it. And we cut a couple of Chinese turbos, put a oil pan on it and a timing cover just for the turbo drain and all that, and so it fit the car nice. And turbo 350 rebuilt stall and a converter in it, like 3,000-ish stall. Basic stuff. I don't know if this motor runs or not. I got it real cheap. I did roll it over and it turned around, so LS motors. It must be fine. This thing, well, it ran bad. When I got it, it ran really bad. I need a fuel pump. So I had some stuff kicking around. So it's got a Tanks Inc. tank with a 400 liter per hour Holly pump in it. So it works. But the motor's not happy. It's got no jam. It has like zero reverse. Like if there's any sort of an incline, it's not happy. Didn't want to shift. A lot of tired bits and pieces on this old girl. And when I had it, I was like, you know what I don't need? Another driver Tri-5 Chevy, because I have lots of them. What I do need is something stupid, because I don't have enough of that, neither do you. So I want to do a turbo kit. I have not done one. I know it's been done, you know, to the nth degree for drag racing and stuff like that. Zero interest in drag racing. The plan with this car, I'm hoping this will make like 500 horsepower. I think they make like 320 or 350 stock, a couple of turbos, you know, whatever. 550 converter. I have a 12 bolt. I just want to do burnouts. That's all I want to do. I want this thing to wick up quick. I want to put my foot to the floor and I want to blaze, like I said, 235, 70 tires for as long as I want. So that's the plan with this hot rod. Well, I finished the interior off. Welded up. Let's see if this thing starts. It's been, like I said, it's been oh, yeah, the seats are terrible. Always a good sign. Let's just see what the deal is there. I literally just hooked the battery up. Sorry for hitting the microphone there. We had to get the Leatherman, eh? I said this thing's been sitting for a month. Oh, that was just loose. Okay. It'll fire up now. I'm excited for this. What do you think? You feel lucky? Oh, God, these seats are terrible. Oh, yeah. So it runs fine. It has oil pressure. It runs weird where if you're trying to drive it, it kind of falls on. It just feels like it has no power. Apparently this thing was overheated a bunch of times. Something just fell. So I don't know if we're going to keep it or not. Like I said, the transmission's a good core. Want to see if it has a limiter? It does. So yeah. Anyways, what we're going to do today... A little smoky there for some reason. That's weird. We're going to pull this. The plan is motor transmission out. Now, I believe these are the same exacts. I don't know what Turbo 350 is in. I never really looked at it. Hopefully, it's the same as this. This one doesn't have a mount on it. I'm hoping I just put that in there and we have no issues. And obviously, we're going to have to relocate the battery, or I'm going to probably cut the core support out because I ugly welded that in. Get some stuff fixed up. See where the turbos want to sit. All that. We'll end up, obviously, pulling these off. This is just for, you know, my own likes. And yeah. It should fit in pretty easily. So let's set the camera up, take the hood off, take the battery out, start draining the coolant out. It's probably just water in it, I'm hoping. And see exactly where we end up. But I'm thinking it'll be, oh, this thing has an ugly dipstick tube on it. Oh, I couldn't get one from the parts store. I thought I'd just snag it off this. It's got one of those floppy ones. They're terrible. All right, let's start ripping this thing apart. Just like that, you can kind of see what's going on. So just, yacked out the radiator, battery box, hood off, and we'll kind of take a look at this thing. I just cut the cooler hoses. I believe it just has standard Chevy kind of style truck motor mounts, so we'll get in there and undo those. Pretty simple. I'm thinking it'll just be 2 motor mounts, trans mount, drive shaft, and we'll pull it out. This thing had the core support cut, and I welded this in without even doing nothing, so we'll just recut that out so it'll come out real easy. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a pretty simple setup. This was done on the cheap, but I mean, it did work. It has just all the factory truck stuff, so this thing is flashed just to kind of run. A couple of wires. This is the factory truck kind of fuse block, which had this little sheet metal thing which was holding it all together. Now, I know very little about these LS motors, but what I do know is basically you loop all the pink wires together, all the orange wires together, and all the ground wires together, and that's what all you gotta do. So I'll try and toss it all there. I'll clip off some of this stuff. I don't know what this is all for, obviously just switched and whatever power. I think that's kind of all that's really touching the car. We have the fuel lines, there's these push connect things. So they're super easy to take apart. That one might need a second hand. And then we have a throttle cable. I assume this is probably maybe the factory truck stuff, so we'll pop that off, reuse that. Kick down the transmission is, oh, it's actually junk. I don't know. Yeah, whatever, we can always change that after. Not hooked up anything, not that it matters, it's coming out with the transmission. The exhaust, what are we gonna do with the exhaust? I'll probably just sawzall it underneath, shunk, shunk, and we're done. And yeah, we should be good. So again, if the exhaust is up at the top here with the turbo there, we can do like fender well headers. Mint. So I think I'm gonna work just a little bit more. And the next time you see it, we'll probably have this thing up in the air. I gotta put a little, it's just water on the ground, but you know what? Fall. It's not just gonna evaporate overnight. The kids are freaking out over there. Must be some kids' party or who knows what. But yeah, we'll get it jacked up in the air. Wow, the front end's pretty pounded on this thing. Yeah, it'll figure itself out. Okay, so we're up in the air. Pretty simple. There is a little bit of tomfoolery underneath, but nothing too crazy. I gotta just show you here. So I'm just gonna zip the exhaust off. I mean, it's whatever. It's 2 1/4 maybe. Nothing special. A couple of there's some welded mufflers. Does have a little e-brake stuff, which is nice. The transmission is just like a standard. I'm gonna get in here like an 80s style, kind of deal. 1 bolt each side with some sort of a tab welded. That'll be fine. The funny part is there's no bolts holding it in. It looks like there were bolts, but no washers, and they got pulled through. So that'll be easy to take out. We'll just put a floor jack under the transmission. It's got a weird pan on it. I gotta do the linkage. Take that off real quick. Oh no, my leg in the water. So that'll come out easy. I'm wondering if that's a more modern Turbo 350 with like a lockup or something. So it's kind of like they're junk, but whatever. We'll take that out, see what the deal is. And yeah, the exhaust. I don't think we're gonna use any of it. Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, the chassis doesn't look like it's been messed with in any real way. It still has the kind of, you know, these things used to be held the back of the motor, front of the transmission. There's a mount there, it's still there. Motor mounts look like they're easy to get to with whatever's welded together, so should be fine. This exhaust manifold may have to come off now that I think about it because of the way the steering is, so you know, this exhaust has probably not been on there too long. I'd probably just take it off right at the flange, but ultimately I'm going to work my back under the car, so there's probably not a whole lot of action. We'll get that all taken care of, and then really I think it should be able to come out in a hurry. There's not a whole lot going on, so we'll bring it back when it's kind of a little more fun. Well, may not look a lot different underneath. A lot happened. I actually drilled a couple holes in the pan, drain all the fluid out, because I've lowered this thing and it's jacked up. I couldn't get to the rear end because I'm a little portly, to get the straps off the diff for the drive shaft. So drive shafts will just come out when the transmission comes out, in theory. Also, I drilled some holes in the pan because I don't want to reuse this transmission, and knowing me, I'll put it somewhere and be like, oh, this is probably fine, and then it's not fine. So that's that. That side we pulled the exhaust off at the manifold. This side I undid the manifold because it's got some funkiness around the steering box. So I feel like trying to get that out will be a bit of a hassle. Got all the kind of wires figured out, I think. At this point, I'm going to cut out this core sport, which I really ugly welded. That's a DD Speed Shop weld right there. Get that out. We'll hook on a chain to it and just start hoisting and see what happens. If there's anything that's in the way, we'll address it as it goes. But I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. I think all the wiring basically is standalone to the motor itself. So I'm not too concerned. I think it'll be just fine. So yeah, we'll drop that motor down and plunk this one out. There might be just a couple of welds I want to do. I don't know how the motor mounts are. Must be a weld underneath, but I might just give it a quick buzz up top. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. It's ready to immediately go back in, other than I'm not super stoked on the kickdown cable, so, and dipstick tube, and I'd rather do that with the stuff out. So I might have to run out and get that tonight if there's still time. Otherwise, it might be a tomorrow morning thing, and it'll go back in. But either way, we're making lots of progress.
Yeah.
So,
God, the girl forgets the microphone 10 times. You just won't let her forget it.
did this grab anything, or did I, yeah, boned it. I Danielled it. These LS motors, when they're all fully dressed up, it's kind of a hassle to lift them without having like the front dress and all that off.
Oh, you didn't hook it to anything?
Well, I did. It just didn't. I'm hooking it to the exhaust stud, which is like totally wrong in every way. But once we get it out enough, I'll put a vice grip on it, and it'll be, you know, safe or whatever. But until then, it'll be a little sketch. But we really have to see what else I didn't disconnect first. So it's like a whole ordeal. Actually, you want to pump that? Yeah, keep going. Yep. Okay. It's doing something. You want me to do it?
Yes.
I don't know what it's grabbing here. It appears to the whole car, but oof. All kinds of ugliness. Oh, it's caught in spark plugs. What are we gonna do here? Oh, motor mount's all the way out. That might be part of the situation as well. LS motors are so stupid. Okay, hang on. We have to undo a few more things. It's a snug fit. It's definitely a little different than I kind of used to. I get the feeling that the motor was put in and then everything was welded. So, which is fine, but it might be a bit of a struggle putting, well, the exhaust is in the way and all that sort of stuff. We may have to take the intake manifold and stuff off. So I feel like it's going to want a rather radical
Rake.
yeah, rake it. But what's this?
At least now it's not lifting the car up with it.
Yeah, it was a little sketchy there. Oh, you know what? The drive shaft's still hooked up. That's probably not helping our situation. I knew that.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, I'll handle it later.
Another past down problem.
Later just became now.
Like you're taking the car with you now.
Yeah, I wanted to do that.
This is a new technique of taking out the motor?
Well, technique's a strong word. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I should put a pair of vice grips on this. I forgot about that. Safety grips.
Oh my gosh. Daniel.
Enough with the rules. No, they just do this. Hang on. Oh, safe. Can't go nowhere. What are we caught on? I guess I can. What? Quit your judging ways.
I'm not judging this. There's something that, like, he was caught to something, some bar.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, quit your judging ways.
Well, that was pretty judgy.
How dare you use your eyes to see?
What do we need here? We need a pair of side cutters. We got some side cutters? You got any on you?
You know what? I shockingly didn't bring out my personalized side cutters.
Where's my Leatherman? Where's everything? Well, there's my Leatherman. I had a pair of side
Where's
cutters.
the last 6 years of my life?
Let's take a quick break here. Ad break. No, I just had my side cutters out. Oh, here they are.
Well, why wouldn't you check inside the engine bay?
Yeah.
Dummy.
Okay, internet. You know what? Okay, this is gonna, ready?
Wait.
Oh, I thought it would ratchet out there. It's pretty mellow. Okay.
Wait, you thought like it was gonna come towards my face?
No, I just thought there
I
might
have
be.
my face right there because you said ready.
I thought there might be a little bit of load on it, but it was fine. There we go. Man, every time anyone ever thinks, why don't you paint anything? Just think of this clip where I'm destroying everything. Oh yeah, there we go.
That thing's a beast.
Yeah. LS motors are
Oh my gosh.
got a lot of stuff on them and they're pretty ugly. But whatever. Think I should just pull it hard and smash into stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, internet. Ugh. Honestly, not bad. So there we go. So this, we're gonna steal some motor mounts off of it. Just use the factory deal. This is the oil pan that was cut, welded, and JB welded, but it kind of leaks still. That's why we went with the other pan. So you can see how short that is versus the other one. We're gonna steal starter, a few of those things off. Let's just look at this. Oh, it's pouring fuel.
Are we just gonna watch it do that?
Excuse me. Allow me to fix that. Oh, it's rolling. There we go. Oh, that smells like premium. What am I gonna do here? A lot of places. Stay. Well, it's actually not bad. So yeah, it looks like the factory motor mount bits were just chopped off the truck. and stabbed in there, so I might just run a quick couple of beads on there just for myself, but I think that's fine. We'll rip the exhaust out. Otherwise, I think it's pretty much ready to go back in. Now the new one should go in easier because, oh, excuse me, we're not running exhaust manifolds, so we're gonna take those off, so it'll slip in, but I do want to run out. This thing's kind of got a, well, I hate these dipstick tubes, but they are better than nothing. And then kick down cable. I would like to run out and get another one. That will work, but it's wrong. So I'm gonna get another one of them. That could all be done in the car, but if we can do it while we're outside real quick right now, take a quick break, and then yeah, stab this thing back in. That one back in. Same but different. Hopefully that one runs better. But yeah. Huh? We'll be back shortly. Okay, so now this thing is out. A few telltale signs. This right here, lockup converter. So that's the junk turbo 350 anyways. So there's no no love lost there. This is the dipstick tube that's in it. Nice. These are junk. I like garbage. Don't want to use that. This right here, kick down cable I grabbed. Man, this is really water. Anyways, I did find a dipstick tube. Unfortunately, it's the long one, but we'll have to make it work. I'll have to just kind of cut a tab or do something here and put it to a head bolt. That'll be fine there. The kick down, that's right there. So very simple. I'll put that in. I got a universal longer one because you have to remember on a standard small block Chevrolet, it would have come up and around right to there. Well, now we're going all the way to the front. What's up, buddy? So we gotta get that taken care of. Because on this one here, you can see it's a standard length, and it didn't quite get to that bracket, which is what we're trying to do. So this one I got was like 6 inches longer. So hopefully that'll work out. Otherwise, we'll do some modifications or whatever we gotta do. Make something work. We do steal a motor mount off this thing. I believe they're both in decent shape. I got everything kind of cleaned up. I will chop the exhaust off, get that out of the way. It's kind of halfway back. I'm gonna just weld in here a little bit. You know, I don't really know, like obviously half-assed a lot of stuff. I trust that guy's welds 100%. I don't know what was done or who did what, and right now it's super easy to get everything on the top. So to clean it all up and just buzz it in real quick while the welder's out, while we're doing that, putting a tab on there, I'll just feel a little bit better. So that's the plan. The sun is coming down. We'll get this stuff chopped out. I'm gonna take the turbos and all that off this, obviously, before we plunk it in. But really pretty simple. Reverso change of what we just did, but there's less junk on this motor, so I'm hoping it should slide in a little bit easier. I'm just kind of let air out a little bit. I cleaned everything up with the old Absarball, but it still smells a little gasoline-y, and we don't want no fires, right? So I'll chop that off with the Sawzall, and then we'll do that. And then by the time that's done, hopefully we'll risk it in here, wire wheel it, ready for the motor to go in. So we got our tube in, a little seal all. I made a little ugly bracket, it's fine. So the cable, the cable length is proper, but the sheathing on the side is a little short. So if I have room, we'll have to make a little bracket back there, or we'll just change it down the road, whatever. I don't really understand that, but it's the way it goes. Actually, I wonder if we can just move that. No, I don't know. Whatever, we'll figure something out. Anyway, now we're gonna do the welder out. Everything's pretty much evaporated. It doesn't smell like gas. I'm gonna get the wire wheel and just kind of, you know, any place that's kind of touching or whatever, we'll hit that, weld it in. Again, it's probably fine, but while we're here and the welder's out, an extra 3 minutes worth of work, and just make it look, you know, well, a little bit sturdier. We should be just fine. That's the plan. We'll have the camera out in case there's a fire. We got to catch it, and once that, we need one motor mount, and then this should shimmy right in there. I'm really hoping it's a lot skinnier without any of the front dress and stuff like that on it, so we can put that on after, but that's the plan. Let's get after it. Okay, well, do you feel lucky? Motor trans are on. I always hate, it's tight here getting this back bolt out once you get a chain on it, but you know what? I'm not charging extra for the suffer today, so we might as well just have right at her. Maybe I don't want to tear out the headlight. Danielle's playing video games, so I'm on my own. You know, it's not like she's playing Pac-Man or something I understand. Okay. Oh, it's fine. Oh, no, a little snug. Oh. Let's give her a quick kick. And the kid's over there. Oh, what's going on? Okay. Sure, a little tilty, but not bad. Up. Up. It's probably fine. Up. Oh. Okay, so we're up against the fire. Ooh, fuel lines. Never walk under the engine lift, boys and girls. It's dangerous right there. How are we gonna do this with the fuel lines? What's going on? Okay. Okay. Should be good. Should be good. Oh, I think we're mint here. I would have liked a little bit more angle on it, but well. Bounce her in. Bounce her in. Okay, hang on. Hang on. I don't know if I said we got the other motor mount in it. Oh, we still need a little bit more down. A little bit more. Gentle. Oh. Perfect. Yeah, a little bit more tilt would be good. We'll just jam it in the firewall for the tilt. Hold it with my boot. Okay. Oh, oh. So close. Oh. Mint. Okay. Got that. Jammer. Going good, going good. Honestly, it felt pretty good. Oil pan is on the steering, I think. Is it? I think we'll be able to muscle it. Oh, the transmission's caught between the motor mounts. That's a weird one. What are we doing there? Give it a pump. We might have to. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. All good noises. I think we nailed it. I gotta say, these LS motor mounts are actually kind of nice. They're just kind of bolt-in deals. What we got going on here? Okay. Versus, like, you know, the Chevy, like standard small, like you gotta run that bolt through. These just kind of do their own thing. So, okay, I think we're okay, but the transmission now has to go up. So where's the floor jack? Oh, right here. It's convenient. So we have, I guess, the ultimate amount of tilt. I fluked it. So we actually have to bring it up. I thought I'd have to have more transmission angle down. Oh, all good noises. What we got going on there? The pan's probably strong, eh? How are we doing up there, guys? Oh, we're up against something. Do that. We're doing okay. There's nowhere to pry in these things. I'm always worried they're all plastic. Oh, there we go. You know when you have it right where you want it? When you're like, oh, it just needs that little extra. That mangles it. That's pretty much how my life goes. You gotta tilt your back just a hair. Okay, that one's kind of lined up. How are we doing here? Completely out to lunch, eh? That's weird. Okay. You know what? You guys want to see this up close? up close and anger. This is my life. You guys can hang out with the broom. So the problem hang on. Get the saws all out of the way. You know, it's always little things. So the motor mount right there just has to kind of waggle around. But I think we're gonna do okay. That's not bad. We can just kind of. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How about this side? Oh, it's almost too perfect. There was only 2 bolts in here. You guessed it. That's all she's getting. These motor mounts are slick. Okay, I'm gonna put these in real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I gotta say, this versus all those slider mounts and all that BS, this ain't too bad. It's definitely a screw around weld in when she got it, but I like it. So look at this, she's in there. Obviously chain slack. But these are the motor mounts. They're pretty slick. They just kind of sit on top like a little hockey puck. Boop, bolt down. So it's metal on metal, and all the isolation is down in there. So that's pretty slick. Oh, and I misspoke earlier when I said the transmission wasn't mounted. It was, and the mount is still in there. Man. Anyway, so I'm gonna just slap this under there just to hold the transmission. So that way, in theory, the motor and trans should be the exact same way it was. We could put the drive shaft in if we wanted to, but pointless. We'll be doing the rear end stuff. Do that. I'd like to see if these headers will fit, get a little bit of turbo placement, and we'll go from there. And then tomorrow or next week or some point, we'll get a proper transmission mount there. I'm just going to put kind of 1 bolt in it so it'll support the weight, and we can start mocking up. This is, I know we did a lot in a hurry here, but I do feel as though it's maybe where it slows down, or I kind of tinker on my own a little bit because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And not that I really care, I guess, but it is what it is. I don't know what I'm saying here. But anyways, let's get that dealt with. We'll get the headers on, turbos mounted. It'll look cool. There we go. It's in. The motor's got a little bit more setback just because the transmission mount is basically non-existent. The mount that's in there is fine, but it's all kind of torch cut and stuff. I'll probably pull it out, clean it up just a little bit. I mean, nothing too crazy. It's got a double hump there for dual exhaust, but we're probably not going to use that. Anywho, yeah, I mean, it fits. Who'd have thought? An LS motor fits when an LS motor fit. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I want to put the exhaust, the headers on, the turbos on. I'm hoping it all fits behind here. If that's the case, then we should be sitting pretty. It's close to this 1 coil. I'm hoping though if the well, actually it's fine. It's not touching. That's no big deal. When the transmission goes up just a little bit, we should be okay anyway. As far as I'm concerned, I mean it'll give it a 1/2 inch or something like that up. So that's golden. Seems like there's a lot of room. It'll all fill up quickly. The whole front dress takes up a lot. That big fan, I don't know if we're going to run that or not, or if we'll just run a electric fan on the deal and just run a kind of a water pump and go from there. It might just be a little less screwed around because those fans, I think it was almost the size of this, which is fine, but we're going to have all sorts of piping and tubing and stuff like that. If we can eliminate spinny there, might be the way. Let's put these headers on. Okay, well, we're gonna run out of room in a hurry. So obviously the core support's in the way. We don't even have this one angle on. That turbo's just sitting on the exhaust. So I'm gonna go do a little look around and seeing and what we can do here with the turbos. Now ultimately, this core support can be moved. Now, before I get into it, so what this intercooler is, each turbo is gonna feed, you know, into each side. Then the intercooler will have to go, you know, in, and that goes out into the, you know, the throat hole there. So that's fine. These can kind of clock, do whatever the heck we want. So either core support has to be removed, and then we can just do something else to join the fenders together and then to the frame. That's all this does. And then hold the radiator. We can make whatever we want out of that. This is a bucksheet thing anyway. That'll allow all the clocking and stuff. The other option we have, shorten up the header and re-weld the V-band. So I'll bring it in. Just cut this flange right off. This is a waste of money. These are, I think, were $50, but just use the flange. That's what I was thinking on this side. Literally weld the flange right to the end of the header and then bolt the turbo on, and that's what it is. But you lose your, you know, articulation. So I think what the next step's going to be, not on this video, will be to assemble the motor, put the water pump on, put the alternator, put the whole front drive on, and just see what we got going on there. Because that is going to take up some space. Well, I guess it shouldn't be too bad, honestly. So if that's where the, you know, maybe, 3 or 4 fingers past is where the water pump and all that will be. Well, I guess obviously in line with that lower belt there. So, you know, we can't do too much screwing around. That side will have nothing on it, so we can do whatever we want. This side will have the alternator. We're not going to run power steering because we don't have anything there. So we'll have the belt, yeah, with a tensioner. So there's not going to be a whole lot happening on this side. This side gets a little tight. We might have to have the turbo offset or do whatever we got to do, but such is life. Honestly, it was a lot of progress today. This is, again, what I was saying, how I don't know how it's going to end up being the first time I've done it, but I'm excited to power through it. I'm not really too worried about it. It's just cutting and welding. How hard can it be? If I screw it up 50 times, it's just metal. We have the Holly. I ordered a Holly harness, a little Terminator kit, so that's on its way. Hopefully I'll have that next week. And yeah, I think I might just play with this. I might change the rear end, because that'll be an easy thing to do as well and kind of fun. Get that dialed together, so it'll be a roller again, get a drive shaft cut, because in theory, we should be able to hook up that Holly, hook up the fuel system, put a drive shaft in, then we can just drive it again, you know, as a stock motor. I'd like to hear this thing run maybe too. And then put a turbo kit on it. It actually is going not too bad. Today was a big day. So thank you so much for watching. I am going to take a break and work on, oh, I got another car. So I know we've done probably 3 or 4 videos like this. We're going to go back and forth just for my own sanity and a little bit of fun. So I got another car there, so that video will be coming out shortly. And we'll probably work on that for another 2 or 3 videos while I think about things over here and wait on some parts to show up. And then I'll kind of keep giving her. So the nice thing about that is while I'm working on something else, you guys can give me ideas of what I've done wrong and how to fix it on this one, because you guys are way smarter than I am. Otherwise, I think we're golden. I'm going to put these away and call it a night. But thank you so much for watching. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe below. It makes a world of difference to me. Helps the channel grow and allows me to keep wasting my money on Amazon, eBay, and Speedway Motors. So thank you very much for that. I'll see you on the next one. Here's a question. If I just cut that, cap that, weld the flange, like cut a hole here, weld the flange right on top, and then I put that something like that, is that dumb? Or off to the side or anything? Yeah, I need time to think about it. Hey, put your ideas downstairs there in the comments. I need them.